Hello guys, and welcome to a new Star Division 2 video today by myself, Vulcan, and Attack Power.
Hey all, I hope you're all doing well.
In this video we have for you game 1 of a best of 5 between Insha and Gonzo in the grand final of the Division 1 Season 9 playoffs of the Star Division 2 League. Today they are playing on Tsel, and on our left in the red team we have Insha on the allied side using Corpo, Italiano, Liberazione with the Maverick deployment type, and on our right in the blue team playing on the Axis side we have Gonzo trying to win Attack Power's heart with the 5th Cavalerie Motorizzata and the Maverick deployment type.
And he has succeeded. He's not playing it balanced though, that's his only weakness. If he was, it would be the ultimate thing.
So tell us about the 5th Cavalerie.
Best division in the game. Just kidding. Just when I use it. No, it's a very solid division. It's got very distinct weaknesses. Missing most tanks. It has basically no tanks and stuff. Infantry incredibly strong at all ranges, basically. You have a lot of AT planes and things like that, so a lot of good weapons. You got the Rashitsa, which shouldn't play a huge role in this map, but a lot of 45 mils and things, so a really good choice for this map. It's often banned, honestly. Corpo Italiano, this should be a pretty good map for it, honestly. It's got very strong CQC infantry, it's Maros and things, and then it's Fucilieri with the quadruple Brens and things. Those can even fight in the forest. That's not where you want them to be, but they can fight in the forest just fine. So I don't like Corpo Italiano. I think it's very inefficient infantry-wise, but it can be a really solid division, especially on this map. I think this is a map where it can shine. Yeah,
and also to get supported by Shermans, which can be very, very effective in sort of like mid-close range engagements against other armor, against enemy infantry. So it's a potent combination. But Tsel is a map that I haven't seen in a while, and it's going to be interesting to cast a game on it. It's a very grindy map because everything kind of moves slow and there's not many roads. It's only got like 4 roads across the map, and then everything in between is just trees. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
The flags are very deep, so getting anything more than 1410 is really challenging. It takes a long time and very deep pushes to capture that 15-9.
Let's have a quick look at what's going down. We've got some Commandosi on the top here for Insha with the Pala d'Assalto Arditi. He's got the Lancia Fiamme and also 47mm with the Malo Commando. And then we've got, Guastatori Para with the Arditi further down. He's got a Spitfire coming out at the start with the Mark 9 there. 47mm Bredders, Flamers. He's got the Pala d'Assalto Alpini Espelarte with the 2-inch mortar at the start, and 47 going into the bottom side with the Bredders. He's got a Staghound at the start with the Flamer, some Commandosi with the Guastatori, and more Alpini. Then he's got, on the side of Gonzo, on the top side, we've got Rosciari with the Breda and the Pianeri leader. We've got another 45 heading to the mid, 47 on the bottom side, loads of Rosciari for the mid with the Abiuso with the 60mm mortar, and a Rosciari Abiuso going to cover the bottom side forest areas. Rosciari spreading out on the bottom side with the Breda and the Panzerschreck there as well.
So great. Rosciari good at basically all ranges. Like, yeah, they lose to dedicated CQC infantry, but against any other line infantry, these guys absolutely wreck at CQC.
Well, cheeky kill there. 47, first blood in this grand final, takes out a Jeep. I think that was just a poor Flamer unit getting popped before it could unload. But no other engagements just yet. Both players being relatively safe on their deployment at the start here. And Insha kind of getting away with having quite slow transports.
Yeah, Tsel can be really dangerous for early pushes. Like, it's very easy to have your transports caught out. The roads really suck, like you said, and like it's easy to have your transports caught out a lot on this map. So I'm not actually shocked to see them deploy a little bit more conservatively. We see some 60mm mortars. These can be extremely effective if Gonzo uses them. They just pin so quickly and fire so fast. We see double 25mm Hotchkiss, so it looks like he wants to shut down this recon. We see a Sherman coming out as well from Insha already. So yeah, he wants to get those things up and rolling as fast as he can and sit on this 1311 as long as he can.
Yeah, the other nice thing about that 60mm mortar you mentioned is its ammo capacity. It gets 40 rounds, which allows it to do 8 strikes throughout the early game here, which is nice. It means that he doesn't have to invest in supply as early on. He's even bringing up a second one now after bringing up those 2 AA pieces, which is, as you say, a good choice to lock down this recon. Otherwise, it looks like Insha's just trying to set up for pushes. He's getting his infantry into a position on the bottom side, the Alpini here, with that sniper, a nice squad to support the Aggressatore if they try and push across. Sherman 3 going to be joining the Staghound here. And we've got a 2-inch mortar going for some shots in the centre. As the Rosciari push forwards, they might actually run straight into that strike.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite way to use these 60 mils is throw them on defensive fire and just let them go to town on everything. They're so effective that way. They're like the 50 millimeter mortars, except like better. Just like all around better.
Yep,
Red is, of course, Red is, of course, one of the worst machine guns in the game, so not doing as nearly as much as a normal heavy machine gun would.
It's interesting to actually see them be used. They have to reload so often because they have a small mag.
Yeah, they're really bad. They're really bad.
The 2-inch mortar also an interesting choice for the Italians. It does provide, obviously, indirect HE fire support, which can pin down enemy units you're up against, but you're not going to be finding much damage from them. And the beauty of the Soviet small mortars, 15 mils, are that they get that extra range, whereas these ones do not. So I am surprised that he's brought them in. He's actually gotten a bit Obici early on. Nice
oh, that's
artillery.
good. And you want to use these. This light Italian artillery is absolutely disgusting. Can really do well if he when once the 60 mils reveal themselves, it can kill those off really effectively. They fire so fast. I mean, this is the lighter one. Still firing 7 rounds a minute, which is quite solid for an artillery piece. Yeah,
and they aim really fast with radio, extremely fast.
Yeah.
So the 60 mil already coming under fire here, with the radio on top of it. IAR coming in.
Love these things.
But straight into the 50 cal, the Sherman 3. We've got the Spitfire coming in. Spitfire Mark 5 early on.
60 mil mortar already going down to that artillery piece, just as I mentioned. That's very effective that way. The Ju-87 coming in for that Sherman. It's backing up to lose line of sight. Will it still get the kill? IAR, those floating around, it may still provide the recon he needs, but now there's a 20 mil. It's going to spread out that cluster and probably keep that Sherman alive.
Oh, went down. Just went down. The last little cluster explosion there got the kill. That was rough. IAR, when it's going deep for the artillery piece there, but doesn't manage to find it because the 20 mils were unloaded just in time to stop that strike, but not save the Sherman.
Yeah, the IAR is actually extremely dangerous. 12 50-kilogram bombs, but they all drop on the same target, so they do a lot of damage, like a ton. They can kill basically any support unit. We finally see these 60 mils go into town at some targets here. I wonder if it's defensive fire or if it's just he's actually manually targeting. It's too much micro for me.
Looks like he's manually targeting the Commandosi and Arditi there. But the AT gun going to be going down from Gonzo. This is interesting. I don't think Insha really has any way to push, and neither does Gonzo. But both sides kind of a little bit light on infantry to push forwards right now. There's a lot of support weapons in play, but not really much to take advantage of it at the moment.
We see a Rashitsa in for Gonzo being used as arty, which it actually is very good at because it fires so darn fast. So it has already caused that 75 mil to fall back. Definitely not the way I use them, but hey, what do I know?
Yeah, that's an interesting play. Nice use counter battery. But another one now on the field that's going to be shooting back towards that, so he might just be getting his Rashitsa kills by doing this.
Yeah, that's not a good trade. We do have 122 mil coming in. He's driving it up. No, he's unloading there. I was going to say, you don't want to get so close that you're within radio range, because then these things will absolutely annihilate you.
A Baltimore on the top side, looking for a cheeky bomber strike there, but it's not in preparation for any push. This is the weird thing with this game so far. It's both players are using artillery. They're using the bomber in this case, but what's the follow-up here? What's the point?
I mean, I think both players know this is going to be a longer game, especially when you're Maverick on this map, because you're probably not picking up a 15-9. So I think both players just earlier I get artillery out, the sooner I can start grinding and doing that grind. IAR coming in. Yeah, I just I don't see where any of them pick up a flag, except in the center here. Insha can pick up this little flag in the complex, but that's probably it in terms of easy flags to grab. Yeah,
it's potential push for Insha on the bottom side flag as well. Is a nice one for him to maybe go for, but both just butting heads in the middle at the moment. The Rashid are getting very close to being killed by the counter battery. But now Gonzo bringing in his own big boy artillery, the 122 mil with the radio there, looking for the kill onto the 20 mil AA currently.
Well, and one of the other issues with 5th Cav is they don't actually have a lot of radio. Their leaders come in radioless, so only the artillery leader gives you the radio you're looking for. So these are actually not very effective until, you bring in that artillery leader, usually in B phase, and he gives you some radio. But until then, these are just the crappy, the 122s that aren't very good.
Yeah, the dispersion is pretty massive on them. It's just it's very confusing when we're looking at it from a neutral perspective because we can see the radio lines of both players
On everyone, yeah.
So it's like we're like assuming that maybe it's radio, but then obviously it's not in this case because, as you mentioned, there's no radio leaders on the map for Gonzo just yet.
And it is odd to see Gonzo using the 60 mils. Oh no, he's going after the RD. I thought he was going after the stack hound. Wow, that did a lot of damage actually. Landed right on, took out 3 units. I thought he was going after the stag hound. I'm like, I don't think that's how I would use a 60 mil. Here comes that IR again. He just keeps flying these in. I'm not sure what his goal is. He knows there's a whole bunch of 20 mils here.
If he's not using the bombs, they will reload really fast, even if they get a little bit damaged. So I think he's maybe like using it as recon, and just like he will bomb if he sees any targets that he's easy to take out.
Yeah,
he's just flying it away as soon as it comes in.
This time, though, he might be punished for it. Nope. Spitfire goes off.
Yes.
25 mils are very solid. These guys do kill quite quickly.
So what he's doing is he's using the IAR to spot the AA, and he's got the 122 mils, like, targeting it immediately afterwards.
Insha, though, on his micro and moving that AA piece, so he will dodge in. And his artillery is building up. He now has 3 of these little mini artillery. I'm just going to call them mini arties. But they fire fast and lay down a lot of fire. We can see these infantry just getting slowly pinged all the time.
And those middle Russiare going to be hurting over time. Since they are pinned, they're going to be less accurate. And the Arditi at range with the Commandosi will slowly but surely chip those squads with the help of that artillery. There is potential here for a push for Insha, but he needs to make sure those AA pieces stay close enough that the bombers don't become an issue. But yeah, as you mentioned with the AA, it's an important thing to note that keeping your AA on attack move orders all the time is actually a really, really smart thing to do, because they will stop to fire at aircraft, but then they will move straight afterwards. So if your opponent is trying to counter battery them, then they will never be in the same place twice. Which is a really, really smart thing to do.
Yeah, you can just queue up like 10 move orders in a square and like just have them move in kind of a square shape or something like that, just to avoid the easy kills. You don't want them just sitting, and it doesn't take that much micro to quick throws down. We also see a leader here out of Insha, which I actually think is going to be a big deal. Getting his troops up to 3 stars makes them extremely deadly. Same for 5th Cav for Gonzo. I mean, those Roshiori are absolutely monsters when they get to 3 stars. But he needs a leader for that.
Nice kill onto the Breda and the Hotchkiss here in the center. Breda on the bottom side did take out Staghound though. Solid kills coming through. Oh, Guastatore Para actually managing to get onto the enemy flag in the center now as well, as the Roscioli got pinned, got forced to fall back. Insha made the play forwards with the Guastatore Para. That's going to be difficult for him to remove if he's relying solely on Roscioli in the early game.
And also the 25 mil did get killed off by that arty. That Italian artillery just so deadly and efficient. So that's going to matter.
Nasty bombing strike from the AIR though. These 20 mils not far enough forwards to protect the Guastatore Para in that position. And the Cavalerie taking out the 47 with its sniper. Little play there from Gonzo finding that line of sight.
Yeah, the flags are equal, but honestly right now Insha kind of feels like he's in the driver's seat.
Yeah, for sure. It feels like the artillery is getting the value that he needs. You can see that Gonzo is investing heavily into his artillery now. He's really trying to get a handle on this. 3 F-22s being brought in to accompany those 122s as they try and deal with the 20 mil AA currently. So it looks like Gonzo's plan here is to try and break down the AA, whilst Insha's plan is to try and just break down the support weapons on the front line. But nice strike there from the Ju-87 does manage to find the kill onto the Sherman, whilst one of the 20 mils is falling back and the other one kind of blocking itself by a line of sight on the backside of those forests, or those trees. Yeah, I mean, right now.
It makes sense. 5th Cav has a very strong air force, tons of AT. It's got Ju-88s. The IAR is a great bomber, despite being a recon unit. It's an excellent bomber. So if you can open up the skies, yeah, it can be very deadly in the sky. I'm a little surprised he's not going for any counter battery at all because, just trying to break this down. Now, he finally did kill a 20 mil, which does matter. I think this division only has 20 mils, right? Is that their only AA?
Yeah, they're very weak in the AA tab. I know that much. I don't know. I think it might just be 20 mils. Yeah.
So I can see why Gonzo's taken this route. Because if you can kill off these 20 mils, I mean, 20 mils suck to start. And then if you kill a couple, then they're really bad. And your Air Force is very strong. There's nothing more to say about it. It's a very strong Air Force.
Yeah, and it's something that can be a late game win condition. If he's like building up his AA over the course of the game and it gets to a point where it's like critical mass and Insha has no AA left, then it's just a win. Like, simple as that. So Gonzo trying to sneak a Panzerschreck down here. It's completely unsupported though. So the RTT are going to find that and probably kill it off quite rapidly. There we go. Another artillery piece brought in by Gonzo on the bottom side. This is crazy. So many artillery pieces already on this map. And there are people who doubt that like artillery is useful in 1v1. Well, you're questioning where it is. This game has it all.
Yeah, and I definitely don't agree with it. I think proper use of artillery is really quite, takes players to the next level. I know using it more myself really made my play more successful and go better. You want to use arty in 1v1.
This IAR on the bottom side. Lucky to be alive. Took a lot of fire from both the 20mm and the Crusader AAs. There we go. We got the Crusader AAs on the field now, which will be a lot harder actually for Gonzo to counter battery and get rid of. So yeah, Gonzo maybe not going to be able to complete the airplay that he will be going for, but double Roshare going to be engaging Commandosi on the bottom side. I'm not a huge fan of Commandosi personally. I feel like they are kind of lackluster compared to some of the other Italian infantry that you can bring in. And Commandosi, of course, are I think Polish, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, and for their costs, no, they're not super strong. The problem is it's again one of those weird infantry units that does a little bit of everything and nothing super well.
I think the only benefit really is I think they come in with base vet, right? So you can get them high vet very, very easily.
So Gonzo is again still aggressively targeting the AA. He did actually throw a little bit of counter battery down, killed one of the 75 mils out of Insha. That's actually a pretty big deal. I mean, he gets a lot of them, but that's one less to deal with. That's a big deal.
Yeah, now 100 mils coming in these fat trucks. These trucks are great. The TL37s, their wheels are so chunky.
I will say a little miss micro here by Gonzo putting his artillery on the roads, on his reinforcement road. That's going to punish him at some point.
JU7 trying its luck, not getting close this time to the Sherman. The Crusader AA actually benefiting from the veterancy that the Sherman is giving. So that JU7 is going to get taken out as the 20 mils are rising in number.
Insha's got quite a pile of infantry on this hill. I mean, it's just a lot of guys.
Gonzo's found a nice hole for the IAR on the bottom side. Takes a free 47 mil Predator kill. And now the 60 mil mortars, well, they were going to target the same thing. So maybe not too efficient there. He is going to notice, changes the strike, but they fire so fast that he can't stop them wasting that ammo.
Yeah, and he's now put them on defensive fire, so now they're just targeting whatever they see. The IR, of course, flying around to see things. And we're actually quite deep into B phase. We're coming up to C phase here in 3 minutes, in fact.
AB
so both
Hodge
players
is brought in.
Go ahead.
Is going to be starting to chip away at some infantry on the top side. One of them already went down. Like both sides do have these 47 light brothers, and they can take care of light infantry very easily. I'm surprised though on this bottom side the double 16 mil strike didn't kill the flamer. That is surprising.
Those things have so much secret health. It's kind of ridiculous. Baltimore loses its target, it appears, because there's a Baltimore flying down south and it didn't bomb a thing and just kind of flew off into the distance. I'm surprised Gonzo's not taking advantage of this opening. Reinforcements flooding in here to close this hole. He's bringing in Stug 3s now as well. I assume he brought in the B phase card of Stug 3s and then the other B phase card of leader Stugs. That's basically all you get.
I think Gonzo's reacting to the mid here, where he's managed to find the flag.
Well, and he's trying to chase. Oh, the Commandosi take out the ABU sword, which could have taken out the leader here. Oh man, that would have been huge if he took out that commander, but the Commandosi getting the Piat on target. Look at the Piat not failing for once. What a hero.
Yeah, Para de Salto, Malobren, Guastore Para. What a combo of infantry here on the bottom side of the map to reinforce this. And the thing is, there isn't really much for Gonzo to take here, but that Gonzo's, yeah, Baltimore's going deep, but does find the double kill onto the 60 mils. Nice.
Yeah, that hurts. There's so much arty from Gonzo. He's gonna have to start bringing in some ammo too. The first 122 is running out of ammo, and you don't want to do that thing where they're sitting there without ammo because then they're useless.
So we're starting to see some Pioniere Calare come in. Finally, some close range specialized infantry here for Gonzo, which might help him when he wants to push deeper into the trees here. But Insha, yeah, slowly ticking down Gonzo with this 1311, and we'll want to sit on that as long as he can. Unfortunately, his 2-inch mortar getting caught out in the open in the center though. But Gonzo, yeah, trying to push on the bottom side. When that Roshade bumps into the Para del Salto, Guastore Para, that's going to suck. Or even the Maro Bren here. 4 Brens on target. That is going to be really, really tough for that Roshade.
Yeah, we have the double 100 going now. These things are really, really good. They fire 8 rounds a minute, and they, of course, do more damage. So the artillery war is going hot here. Up north, the Sherman is in a nice position, is doing a lot of damage to these infantry.
Yep, Crusader AA is getting into good range as well, and with the extra veterancy from these Sherman command tanks, it's helping out quite a lot. It's like so many of these like Sherman 1 command tanks actually on the field. I'm surprised that he is like committing so much to these. Like he hasn't gone for infantry leaders so much. Oh no, big mistake in the middle. 47 mil takes out one of the Crusader AAs. You do not get many of those, and that is one taken care of.
Ju-87 does not kill any of that armor in the center, but it does do some nice damage. It's going to allow the Stug 3 to one-shot either of those things once it gets on target. So that's a big deal. Counter battery, though. Oh, Ju-87 does go down. Counter battery, though, from Insha is proving to starting to be a little bit effective. We see some things pinned down back there for Gonzo. Stug 3 does take out the Sherman leader. That's a big kill. Takes away the radio down here. So the artillery should get a little less accurate for this southern section.
Yep, nice play there with the Stug 3 leader. On this bottom side, look at the build-up of infantry. The disparity of units for Insha is pretty crazy. If he made a play here, he could definitely take another flag and continue the tick. But Sherman on the top, a little bit vulnerable right now. Stug 3 going to come around the corner. If it gets a shot on target, it will kill it in one shot because it's already damaged, and it does go down.
There it goes.
Another Sherman taken care of, and a Sherman engagement against the Sherman 3. Oh no, it wasn't against the Sherman 3. Sherman 1, sorry. The 47 gets taken out by the Stug, but the Stug's still looking for the Sherman after the fact. These Stugs are actually really starting to pay off quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's not actually a ton of great answers out of Corpo, even for just a simple Stug at these weird ranges here. We are finally into C phase, though. Important to note that both players now restricted on points. We have to see double IAR coming in, going to try to stop at least the first tendrils of this push. But Gonzo's going to need more than this to stop this mass of troops.
Well, the Guastore, let's see if they are both going to go down here for those bombing strikes. No escaping the recon capability of those planes. And he is also going to probably spot the amount of units here coming in. So Pioniere Assault now coming in a very, very strong close-range infantry squad.
I was afraid he didn't bring these in. We haven't seen them yet, so we finally see this card of these guys. They are not... I don't know if they're one of the best CQC units in the game, but they are very strong. Better than any CQC unit on the map right now, for sure.
And then the 8-man with the 6 submachine guns, right? And 2 flames.
Yes.
Yeah, so...
But they're not like super strong submachine guns. They're solid, but not like 150mm like Swomies or anything. So
they do benefit from the extra accuracy that the Thompson gets, like the 60% accuracy. So at close range, they're still doing a lot of damage.
They're not Berettas though. If only they were Berettas, then they'd be.
They'd be broken.
Yeah, they'd be juicy.
So Pioniere Calare versus Guastore Para and Para del Salto. Unfortunately here, the Pioniere Calare do have Berettas, but Pala d'Assalto have 9 of them. So this is going to be really, really rough. That Pianeta Calari getting wiped in light cover. Guastatare Pala taken out. Other Pianeta Calari. Neither got off any HE. On the bottom side here, though, Ju-87 coming in for the strike onto the Sherman 1. No escaping the recon of the IAR. But the Sherman 1 doesn't even go down. That wasn't even pinned. What
that's
is
so
that?
frustrating. Yeah, I've noticed that with Ju-87s lately, not killing things, even when nothing's stopping them. Noticed that happening more and more. Up north, a Stug did go down, so kind of the 57 mil, the 57 cannon here, killing off one of those Stugs, and that's actually quite important because it was kind of holding up his line over here for Gonzo. We are at 1311 for Insha, though, getting that slow tick, and remember, it's hard to crawl back in once you're on Maverick like this.
This Crusader AA is vital for this bottom side of the map. If that dies, then Gonzo can start to break back in here, but he does need to find a solution before Insha manages to get to the edge of this sort of light cover and get AT guns and stuff in. Otherwise, it's going to be really, really rough to deal with. Oh, Panzerschreck sneaking up, finds Sherman 3 kill in the center, bottom side.
Ooh,
very nice. Good kill there. Pianelli Assault sneaking up. Pala d'Assalto going to try and intercept that Panzerschreck. From now on, Rosciare deleted on the bottom side in the light cover. That's rough. Artillery's still firing away on both sides. Those 100 mils from Insha, though, starting to get low on ammo.
Yeah, I mean, Gonzo's in a tough spot here because Insha's doing the right thing. He's swinging up north to capture this little hill flag. There's only some Rosciare there to defend. There's no more reinforcements coming in. Now, these ABU swords can be really effective, but unfortunately, this Sherman didn't die. So, you know, the Stug can kill it. Stug can absolutely kill it, but if the Sherman takes out these ABU swords first, then 25 mil just gets wrecked. Absolutely deleted. Can the ABU sword can stop all of this stuff, that's for sure. But the bulges are beginning to show here in Gonzo's line.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of infantry in the way, though, of Insha on this top side near the swamp. He's got the, like, Rosciare lined up here. They're not in buildings or anything, so they could get taken out by the Sherman pretty fast, but they did take out the Arditi there. The Maro not really going to be able to do too much. AB Hodge is just charging forwards.
Look at all the artillery just coming down. It's like cheese artillery. It's not even very good. AB Horse trades with the 57 mil. Not bad. The other AB flying forward, going to try to catch out this Crusader AA, but the Commandosi here with the Piat might be the champion of the day here for him.
Oh no.
Oh, no, he's just fast moving. Gets out of range.
Oh, that's rough. Crusader AA. Can it do the job? No. Hodge takes it out. That is nasty. And now the Commandosi gonna go down as well. Oh, brutal. Brutal attack.
Oh.
Bottom side salient did find 1410 for a little while.
I mean, the difference between 1410 and 1311 is nothing. So as long as Insha holds a 1311, he's ticking Gonzo down, and Gonzo's only got 25 minutes
one more flag
left.
that Gonzo has to take back, right?
Yeah, it's true.
He cancels the income. But yeah, these artillery pieces, 75 mil, taken out of Eshita in the middle. That's pretty rough. IAR coming in for the bombing strike onto the Maro. Will be able to find it, but falls back in time. Only takes 2 damage. Nicely done. Baltimore now coming in for the bombing strike onto the Rosciare. Again, another fallback. But will this do much damage? Nope. Only 1 damage. So nice play from both players. Very proactive, falling back their infantry. Ju-87 falling back there, not finding the Sherman 1 on the bottom side.
Yeah, I mean, Gonzo's making a really nice push back here. Rosciare flying in. He's got the Stug 3 here. If he gets far enough forward, he could kill this Crusader AA. And truthfully, then Insha really is getting in a dangerous spot AA-wise. He's only got 1 more Crusader in the center there, along with a 20 mil. And I think that's it. 2 more 20 mils there in the middle, but I think that's all.
Yeah, we'll definitely be getting light on AA already. So we will probably start to see Gonzo invest more and more into, like... Oh, and it goes down in the middle. Crusader AA taken out by the Stug 3. This is really bad.
Really?
Initial positioning from these Crusader AAs was good, but as soon as, like, the things in front of them die, they just become very vulnerable, and Yeah, Gonzo taking a full advantage. Oh, and a nice kill onto the Sherman 1 on the bottom side. Now the Crusader AA is vulnerable, but does get the kill onto the Stug 3 because the Stug 3 was damaged by the Sherman. That is clutch from the Crusader AA, but he's still got to run from the AB Ursa on the bottom side. Kudos to Taripara, taken out by Pianelli's Health. So, this Crusader AA hanging on by a thread right now. Although the AB Ursa is going to find line of sight. Can the Sherman 3 kill the AB Ursa in time? I don't think so. It will.
But can the ABUSR really kill this Crusader AA fast enough? Oh no, did she get line of sight? Oh.
ABUSR goes down, Sherman 3 saving the day. So just about holding on that bottom side. Stug finishing off at Guastatari in the middle. And Gonzo making some ground here with the Pianeta Calais. Like, overall, on the top and mid areas of this map, Gonzo's infantry has suddenly gained a lot of ground.
Yeah, but Insha still has a lot of troops. It's not like he's very thin. And actually, if you really look, I think Gonzo's looking a little bit thin. He might have overextended with this most recent push. Yeah,
potentially overextended. Yeah, for sure. He just needs to be a little bit careful. Maybe hold off until he gets a few more reinforcements on the top side, because he invested so much into the bottom side trying to control Insha's position here. But the Mara Bren, with those multiple Bren machine guns holding back the Rosciari at range, even though they did take a lot of damage. But the Crusader AA, what are you doing? it's like it's so close. The AB Ursa here almost getting side shots onto the Crusader AA. Actually finds side shot onto the Sherman 3 and does damage and finds a crit. The AB Ursa does go down, but that has cost him some health and a transmission damage.
Yeah, the other AB horse up north killing I think a 47 mil that was coming in. So a nice little pickup there. Stug 3 in the center did take damage from probably that 57 mil, I think. Not sure from what exactly, though. And also, I mean, Gonzo's artillery has fallen silent. He's out of ammo. They're all out. I mean, so is Insha's. It's kind of funny. Both players sitting here, basically, they're waves of artillery ammoless.
Yeah, it's probably because their decks don't actually have that much supply in them. They probably have like 2 supply trucks, maybe, like phase A, right? And then after that, do they take a phase B or C card? Maybe.
I would think he would take at least, I mean, usually take 1 B phase card, because the artillery can last all of A phase without reloading. So I would think he'd have at least 4, both players should have at least 4 trucks of ammo, I would think. A lot of surrenders here.
The mid engagement. Oh, that's disgusting. Yeah. To the Pianelli Calari getting caught out in light cover by infantry and heavy cover, especially when the Guastatari have the Beretta there. That's very, very nasty. Guastatari trying to push on the top side. The Sherman 3 providing good support. Crusader AA now backing up, but the AB Hodge is sneaking up on it.
Things are all over the place.
Gonzo has been on the money with these AB Hodges and 20mm vehicles throughout this game.
The Sherman almost gets line of sight on it, though, and he sees it, so now he's on the run. Will it get away? Does get a burst, a gun jam. Oh, nice!
That's all he needs, though. Gun jam's fine, because it forces Insha to repair it, right? He could maybe drive it back to the AA or to the artillery to get it repaired that way, but that's going to leave this bottom side vulnerable, for sure.
Yeah, but it is now a 15-9 with Insha taking that central hill position, breaking down most of Gonzo's troops up north. There's like barely anything left when you start really looking at it. I mean, Gonzo doesn't have much. He really doesn't.
Yep. There was an opportunity on the bottom side for Insha to maybe catch out the Stug 3 with the Panzerfaust there, but Gonzo backing away from that fight. I just wonder if there is like enough time here for Gonzo to exploit what is now a lack of AA on the field. Like in the middle, you got the double 20mm with the commander, but on the far north and the far south, there's like nothing to stop his aircraft right now.
Yeah, he can definitely, you know, JUs and all that stuff should be free to go. It doesn't look like he brought in JU-88s, so he's just got those IARs. It depends on if he brought in a second card of JU-87s or not. Otherwise, he only had 3, and he's lost at least 2, I believe, at this point. Roscioni in the middle going down. Pianeti Calari in the middle also going down. It's looking dangerous. Although the Stugs are definitely quite strong still. There's not a lot left out of Insha that can really effectively kill those.
Oh, both the Guastatari and Pianelli Assault pinning each other down, but the Pianelli Assault are recovering sooner. The Guastatory Para actually surrender even though they had more men at the end of that engagement. That's rough. Rasciale, oh, might get sniped by the Sherman, but Insha not on an attack move there or a quick hunt command. Both as 40 mil, almost getting taken out by the Guastatory in the middle. Now I are going to be coming in here for the bombing strike. I think, yeah, Gonzo, he could just invest quite heavily into these IARs because they're not too expensive and they are quite effective.
Oh, they're very good, yeah. I mean, if he brought 2, because you can get 2 cards of the IARs, so they can do a ton. Like, you can have a lot. You can have like 6 of them. So I don't know if he did that. Sherman 3 hunting down this 40 mil is going to lose this flag now too, and his artillery is actually kind of vulnerable here as well. Although that artillery, the 76 has AP shells at 105 millimeters penetration, so they could kill the Shermans, but it's now 17-7 for Insha. Gonzo really in the back foot here. He needs to turn it around.
He does indeed. Yeah, he's got a long way to go as well because he's really not doing the job right now. Like, they are very inferior to a lot of this Italian infantry. Guastatory Para just like solid chunky squads of flamers. Stug though, engaging the Sherman 3. Will it find the last shot? It will. Trades with the 57. In early assault taken out on the bottom side. AB Horch takes out the Malobren, but Sherman 3 taken out by the Stug a little bit further up. So some trades going backwards and forwards here. The 20 mil vehicles in the mid to late game could really start doing a lot of damage.
They definitely can, but in the middle here, we have a big infantry push here. I mean, yeah, I mean, if Gonzo can really leverage these light vehicles, he has another blob of AB horses coming in. I forget how many you get in C-Phase if you bring the C-Phase card, but I really think that's what he's done.
Yeah, he's definitely got like a Phase B or Phase C card that he opted to go for, and he's bringing in a lot of them. And they can trade very well into multiple infantry squads. On this bottom side, though, like the Guastatory Para, yeah, they're going to go down there. But, I mean, all that Insha really needs to do, bring in more Sherman 3s and AT guns and just kind of stall Gonzo at this point. Because a 17-7 is a huge lead. Just gets in a few extra units into position and it's really, really rough. 18-6 even. Triple ticking. 2 minutes 37 left on the clock.
19-5. Yeah, up north, there's nothing left. Gonzo is basically disintegrated. That 47 mil will go down here soon enough, probably to the Sherman 1. And once that leader is discovered, there's nothing up there, and the infantry are being poured into the center here.
Yeah, and this is just really rough because there's so many points invested into artillery for Gonzo, and he hasn't resupplied any of it. So, or maybe when he tried, like the supply got killed by counterbattery or something. Sherman versus Stug engagement, and the Sherman gets the kill. Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Rage.
That is really, really rough there for Gonzo. Definitely, like, almost final nail in the coffin here. The artillery leader with the Guastatory going to be able to kill the Rasciale on the bottom side as well, taking away the last of that pocket. And things really, really just out of control for Gonzo right now, which isn't something you often say about Gonzo. So this is a fantastic performance from Insha.
Oh, this is refreshing, yes. I mean, I love Gonzo, don't get me wrong, but and the fact he's embarrassing my beautiful 5th Cav division is a little mildly infuriating. But great to Insha for doing it.
He's really utilized the quality of the Italian infantry, and he's had enough AA throughout the game. And the other thing is, I mean, even though Gonzo has almost managed to take care of the AA now, which seemed to be the focus of his artillery throughout most of the game, he didn't really invest in that much air force.
Not enough, at least.
Like, we saw the IARs, like a few of them, and that was about it, really. I can't think of much else.
JU-87s, but yeah, he didn't bring in the JU-88s. He didn't bring in... It doesn't look like he brought in 2 cards of JU-87s or, you know,
or
any
HS-129s or anything
HS-129. Like yep, he didn't bring in any of those things. So, I mean, I definitely got the concept of what he's going for because, yeah, breaking down their AA is not great. Your Air Force can be really quite strong, and, you know, that's an obvious way to go. But it just didn't happen fast enough when it really comes down to it. Now, the 20 mils in the center are getting caught out, but they do have AT. First AB Horse getting its gun jam there. IAR going down, so he's going to kill off this 20 mil and then have no more planes to take advantage of it, basically.
Yeah, well, the 20 mil can defend itself. It's got those AP shells. On the bottom side, AB Horch does take out the Crusade AA finally, even though it was gun jammed for the longest time. Sherman 3 cleaning up both of those though, and we now have 40 seconds left on the clock. Gonzo scrambling to try and find some ground, but no units to do it with. And he is going to surrender. There we go. After 37 minutes and 4 seconds, congratulations on Insha in taking the first game of this best of 5 in the grand final. Absolutely awesome. We have a series on our hands here, Attack Bear.
We have a match. We have a not, a Gonzo rollover of what it often is. So, hoorah. Hoorah to be sure. Kill-wise, those 75 mils, at least one of them did a lot of work there. Crusader AA, Sherman. I mean, we can just see that Insha traded very well. I mean, he got a lot of value out of a lot of the units. The Crusader AA killed a Stug. That's very impressive. Very impressive. That guy's going above and beyond.
I mean, you can see like the Cavalerie, the Alpini, the Maro, like just all these Beretta equipped infantry just absolutely going ham. It's disgusting.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised because you can also get Roshiori assaults, which are like Beretta, basically like Beretta rifle squads that have Molotovs in 5th Cav. He didn't bring those in. I didn't think he actually brought many Pianidi assaults in. We only saw like 4 or 5 of them maybe. If you bring them in B phase, it's an 8-man card, so they're kind of weird there. You also have Begleitgrens, which in yellow cover are very good. Obviously, you don't want them in the CQC stuff, but in yellow cover, they're absolutely disgusting, which on Tsel, there's plenty of yellow cover. So, and I love my Roshiori, but it felt like some odd...
Yeah, he invested heavily into those Roshiori. Like, for the first, 10 minutes of the game, like, phase A, he didn't have, any specialized close range infantry at all. It was all Roshiori. Yeah. And then, he relied on artillery to find the pins, right? He was using 60mm mortars. He was using his long-range artillery, although most of that long-range artillery for the early game was focusing on trying to take out AA. Even the Regis are being used as, a counter-battery option. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe he could have just, doubled down on the ground forces early on rather than investing in this, support play. But as you mentioned, there just wasn't really any of the infantry, specialized infantry options that you'd expect to see out of the 5th Cavalier.
Yeah, I mean, he left his best tools at home, it felt like, and then just spammed AB Horses. And that's fine, that's well and good, but you're up against a division that has a lot of elite AT and Shermans and stuff, which counters that pretty well. So I don't know if that's the game plan I would have chosen when you do 5th Cav versus Corpo. I probably would have leaned a little bit heavier. The Stugs can do quite a good bit of work, and leaned on your CQC infantry, which you definitely have more of than Italy does. At the end of the day, that probably pretty close to equal with the Maros and all that kind of stuff. But
it's interesting to see when you look at the losses, like the kills from Gonzo here onto the Italians, the amount of support weapons that are dead in the first 10 minutes of the game. Look at that. Bretta's 2-inch mortars, the 47mm Bretta AT, the 20mm AA, even the artillery piece going down there. And then if you look at the kills, none of those support weapons did anything.
Yeah,
it's just I was really surprised that Insha invested in all of those, but maybe they worked out by soaking
up the damage, right?
But in the end, solid victory there for Insha in game 1. Very, very nice game. Anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, especially if you're still here. You're an absolute champion for making it through this 43-minute grind. Good for you guys, and hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.